Hello out there to everyone in the verse. Gabby here with my weekly show where I do my best to offer up advice and solutions to the many interpersonal problems that any one of us might face, whether that be tackling relationship difficulties or just being an ear for someone in need. Tonight we have a couple of interesting stories I want to share, and of course a Dear Gabby update as well. Remember that if you have your own difficulty you would like to share, please mail in your concern or you can post it in the comments below, and I will give my very best advice to you if chosen. So be sure to let me know your troubles for your own chance at a problem-solving take from the galactically known Gabby. Really quick before we dive into the show, a couple of shows back, we had a writer who wrote in with an issue who described the double dog as not sure they're even meat. We here at Dear Gabby Enterprises do not share the opinions of the commenter, nor do we have any affiliation with the commenter outside of reading in their own words the submitted request. We apologize to the hot dog manufacturers responsible for the double dog and note that the expressed opinions and views of our readers and commenters are their own. Before we get to our first writer, my throat is feeling a little parched, and when Gabby is at Area 18, I take care of said parched throat by stopping off at G-Lock's Bar, located in the Food District, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from my favorite hotel, but more on them at a later date. G-Locks is great for any mood, whether I'm looking for a quiet corner to read or write to my many supporters, which is always pleasant during their lunchtime, or if me and some friends want to catch up and enjoy some cool atmosphere that is also relaxing. There's even a dance floor if you're into that sort of thing, but you guys know Gabby never gets down in boogies. Wee-hoo-hoo-hoo! The next time you are on Area 18 and looking for a great place with awesome decor and even has some outdoor seating where you can enjoy passerbys, be sure to head over to G-Lock's Bar and tell them Gabby sent you. You can also order that first round while you're on your way with their Mobiglass app so you can have that wine breathing before you even step foot inside. So our first writer tonight has something I deal with a lot of, especially during our troubling times, and that is misplaced anger. Because I do not shy away from a problem, I am sharing this one, but I want to tell you first that Gabby never condones taking things out on others. Now, let's get to this letter. Dear Gabby in Space, I never listened to your show, that is, until I had an accident last year when I was thrown from the side of a cutlass steel while manning a turret. I fell 25 feet and fractured both legs, my pelvis, and lower spinal column. I had massive internal bleeding from lacerations of my liver, bladder, and large intestines, not to mention other toxic spillages inside of my body, which have cost me a year in the hospital and countless operations while infections and healing were contained. While in the hospital, I have had a lot of time to listen to all of your shows many times and also to think about those who saved me, namely the Northfield Medical Corps. I have come to the realization that I wish they had just let me die because the life I have lived since and my life going forward will never be the same. Even with all of the regenerative miracles that science can do now, my life is still going to be one painful and dreary take that would have saved so many people grief, including myself and my family, had I just been allowed to die on the side of that cliff that day on Daymar. I know that a life saved can be a marvelous thing, but in this case, there is no marvel, and all I am left with is an undying rage toward those life-saving crusaders who are out playing God and not realizing that some lives simply should not be saved. It is probably for the best that I will never be fully active again, because if I could be, I would take on the mantle of hunting down every last one of them. Signed, Broken Hull. Dear Broken Hull, I am truly sorry for what you have experienced, and I'm a little let down that my show has not given you more hope towards your own situation. One of the main things I try to do with my show is to allow people to see that there can be many outcomes in life, many of which you never can foresee happening. The only thing that can prevent those outcomes from ever happening is by not being alive. You were given a gift the day someone saved your life, even if you cannot see it or appreciate it at this moment. The gift of life is still there, and until it is not, anything can happen. Whether that be you yourself redefining what it means to live, or maybe it's you touching someone else's life who might make a change that could affect our world in unforeseen ways. I know that anger is easy to hold on to, but I would ask that you try to focus it in another direction instead of blaming others. Not that you need to blame yourself. Sometimes there's no one to blame, but just to redistribute that energy into another activity. Even just sharing your story and how you're feeling right now can change things, which is why I read your story here today. Whether you know it or not, you are already making changes, and I do hope you live long enough to see things differently and can come around to feeling the gift given has been worth it. Take care and do reach out anytime, because you need to keep communicating those feelings, whether to me or to someone else that you trust. So sometimes we have themes, whether planned or by accident, and this writer shares a common theme, yet different outcome from our first writer. So we thought it would be a nice counterpoint to that letter. They write, "Dear Gabby in Space, longtime listener, first-time writer. I first off want to say that this is not meant as a question for you, but just to show some gratitude toward my rescuer. I am a single mom who stopped off at a mining post for some refreshments for me and my child before hitting up the last leg of our delivery mission. As I was leaving the hab with our items in tow, I must not have been paying attention, because before I knew it, I found myself flying through the air toward the ground, and I came down so hard that I punctured my suit and blacked out. I did not even have enough time to send up a medical beacon. By pure chance, a member of the Northfield medical team landed, found me, and got me inside of their medical ship and revived me before any serious damage happened. After I was patched up, they got me back into my ship, where my son was able to take it from there. I never got a chance to thank them properly, and they never even sent me a bill. I just wanted to thank them and whoever is watching out for me, because that could have gone bad in so many ways. Thank you, Gabby, for giving this letter and the Northfield group some attention. Signed, Always Watch Your Step." Dear Always Watch Your Step, your letter came at a great time to go into this week's show, where that same medical group had come under fire, as you will no doubt hear when you listen. Our medical groups across the verse, no matter how big or small, come under constant threat on a daily basis, and they probably do not get the credit nor respect they deserve, and their pay isn't the best, which means these brave souls are out there doing life-saving work because they see a need and are there to lend a helping hand, simply because they want to. I'm glad it all worked out for you and your son, and thank the gods that someone was not only there at the right time, but that it was someone with good intentions. Stay safe out there, and be sure to always watch your step. It is now time for a Dear Gabby update, and this week's update comes to us from G-Lock of G-Lock Spar, who writes to us, "Dear Gabby in Space, I wanted to thank you for airing my concerns with my bar in Area 18. Your show helped bring attention to some of the crime in the area, and I'm happy to say that after some arrests were made, things seem to be much better, and the bar is seeing our patrons returning. I know my problem was not one that dealt with an emotional issue or with a relationship, but the bar and my staff do help many people overcome their issues, and we provide support for many regulars who had started to feel some of their loneliness creep back into their lives when they did not feel safe enough to come by. I will forever be indebted to you and your show, and you are welcome anytime, and your credits are never needed here." Now, I am so glad to help out G-Lock of G-Lock Spar, and you just made Gabby's day. I'll be sure to swing by soon. That is going to do it for this week's show. As always, me and my staff wish you nothing but the best, and that you are living your best life, and that you stay safe. Good night.